And welcome back to the Morning Buzz here on WMSC Upper Montclair. And today, guys, we have a special interview. I'm talking vice president status. Today, we have Monika Boceska from the Montclair's Marketing Club, the VPs in the house. Monica, how are we doing today?
I'm doing really good. It was a little hard getting here, waking up early, and then it's really cold today, but I don't mind being here. So thank you for having me.
Of course, it's super cold, but at least, according to Amina, our weather expert here, it's gonna heat up today. It's gonna be almost 50 today, right?
Yeah.
Exciting stuff. Guys, we're gonna jump right into it. Monica, what are your duties as the vice president of Montclair's marketing club?
I guess so that I can hear
So
you guys
as
just fine.
vice president, I'm kind of
And
the
the
right
light was
hand
on.
man
That's
or
what
the
it
right hand
was.
woman to our president Sam. So whenever she needs help with anything, she'll always look to me, and then we'll kind of collaborate. If we're kind of planning bigger events or any of our meetings, we kind of create the outline for them. And I'm also kind of in charge of getting our events and meetings approved. So our meetings, they tend to be every week, unless we say otherwise. So we kind of have to get them uploaded on Engage, which is where all the events for clubs are kind of seen. So I kind of work to do that. And then I just kind of help any of our board members. If our secretary needs to send out emails, I kind of remind her to do so. So yeah, that's kind of the general gist of what I do as vice president.
No.
Awesome. How did you get involved with Montclair Marketing Club?
So freshman year,
Yeah, no.
I am a marketing major. So when I saw all the clubs that were kind of offered, seeing the marketing club, it definitely piqued my
I just have
interest.
a view of the
And
building.
I was in a class with Sam, who's our president. It was our economics class, and she was telling me how she had just recently started going to the meetings for the marketing club, and she was like, "Yeah, you should come." So I was like, "Yeah, like maybe I'll go." And then I started going to a couple meetings, and then it was really cool. And then they actually announced that they were having elections for secretary shortly. So I did run for the next semester, and I became their secretary, which was really cool. So I became their secretary freshman year. And yeah, since then I've been with them. And then I became their vice president last year.
Nice. Congrats on all the promotions you've received.
Thank you.
You talk about these events and meetings that you guys host. So what exactly is that like from the perspective of a general member maybe coming into the marketing club?
You don't
Yeah,
even know
so our meetings, they're obviously very marketing focused. So we try to have different topics that our members would kind of enjoy learning about. Some examples that we've had before, we did meetings on social media, sports marketing, anything that we think would be interesting, not only for marketing majors to kind of get more knowledge on, but also since we are open to members outside of the business school, we also kind of want to give them an introduction to certain marketing topics. So other than that, we also try to have cool events. So maybe we'll do like a career building workshop, or we'll have guest speakers. We actually do have a guest speaker today coming in. Well, it'll be on Zoom. So definitely check that out on Engage if you're free from 1:30 to 2:30 today.
Awesome. How do you think joining this club has helped you or others as they pursue a career in business or marketing?
Yeah, so it's definitely given me a lot more
I do like
knowledge
that aspect of it,
on
but like
marketing itself, kind of
hmm.
the different careers in it, and then what areas I kind of like. Um, but other than the actual
A little bit,
marketing
yeah.
knowledge that I've gained, being like in a leadership position has helped me a lot too. Just because I never used to really be very involved in clubs or anything like that in high school. So kind of having this leadership role has
Yeah, I
definitely
get that.
kind of pushed me out there to kind of um, take
I have a
charge,
double, so
and
like my roommate and I were really close.
that has
so,
helped me
it's good.
personally.
enjoy,
but
like,
it's
our
also
little, like,
given me other
area.
like business
But
opportunities.
our
So
neighbors
um,
decide they want to blast
it's
music
kind of
at like
led me to
11
gain
o'clock at night on
some
weekdays.
scholarships, because it's really good to have on your
Almost every other
resume
day.
that you kind of have this
So
leadership
that's not
position.
pleasant.
And
Also,
I also have an internship now in a marketing department for a company. So I feel like it's definitely helped me with that because employers and other people kind of see how involved and dedicated you are to the field.
Nice.
mhm,
You know,
yeah.
a lot of times when you have these student organizations, you set out things you want to try out for the semester, all your goals. So I was wondering,
Yeah.
for you and the marketing club, were there any specific goals that you're trying to do this semester?
Yeah, so I think right now we're kind of trying to uh, get as much involvement as we can. We don't want the marketing club to just kind of be another hour-long lecture for people, because nobody would want to go to that. And especially coming back from the pandemic, our meetings were held via Zoom during the pandemic, so we
That's
didn't
super
obviously
hard.
get a lot of face-to-face interaction with them. So I think right now we're just kind of focusing on getting to know everybody and kind of doing events that people want to do. So whether that's
I've also found that, like,
being able to
I live
go
on the fifth
to
floor,
New York City
and on the
and
sixth floor above me,
visit
apparently
a
there's a
marketing
lot
event
of
that's
football
going on,
players.
or kind of
So
have an
at
event on
night,
campus that would
sometimes
really
I
bring
listen
people
if they're
together and
lifting
kind of
weights and then like
open
putting it
opportunities
down
for
really
everybody. I
heavily.
think that's kind of one thing that we really want to do this semester.
Yeah.
This is really interesting. You have a special guest speaker you mentioned, Marissa Schwartz.
Yes.
Can you tell us how that came about and why you thought she would make a great guest speaker?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
our PR and communications director,
Oof.
Brooke, she actually interned for Marissa. And
Yeah.
she kind of let us know, like, hey, my boss, my prior boss,
Yeah.
I think she'd be a good person to kind of have as a guest
Do you also
speaker
get a
for
lot
our
of bed
club.
rattling?
And whenever we're looking for guest speakers, we kind of try to get somebody that
I get it from
we
above.
think like our members would enjoy hearing. So they're usually from like the marketing field, and also kind of give their experience
It doesn't happen
on how
all the
they got
time, but,
there and what
quite a
their
bit,
journey
like,
was
at least,
like.
once a week.
So Marissa is really she's so successful. She was on Forbes 30 under 30. And we think
what was
it's just a
annoying
great
was, like, I was
opportunity
thinking you were
for
getting
students to kind
louder,
of hear
'cause
from
I
someone like
could have
her,
swore
and
I
kind
thought
of
I
maybe
heard a
give
moan
them
coming from above me, and
an
it's like,
insight
oh,
into different opportunities
like,
in
please no.
marketing.
For sure. So I'm interested to know, how much do you think you've developed from your role? I think you said you were secretary earlier,
Yes, yeah.
until now as vice president.
I
How much
guess
do you
so,
think you've
yeah.
developed as a leader and all those other qualities?
Yeah, definitely a lot. As secretary,
Really, I guess
it is definitely an important position, but the responsibilities are a little less. Usually includes sending out emails,
trying to work.
taking attendance of our members. And as secretary, you do get input into kind of what gets done in the club. Every e-board member has input into kind of our goals and what we want to do as a club. But definitely as vice president, me and the president, Sam, we kind of have bigger responsibility. We kind of direct the club into the way we want it to go. So I would say definitely as vice president, I've been able to kind of put more of my ideas out there and kind of see where I want this club to go, versus when I was secretary, I was kind of going with the flow and just supporting everyone else on the board for what we kind of wanted to do. And like I said before, personally, it's just helped me a lot with being able to kind of put myself out there more and giving myself the opportunity to have a leadership role.
Right on. What's it like working alongside Sam and the rest of the marketing team board?
Honestly, it's really great. Everyone is so friendly. I would say this is probably like our best e-board ever. Sam, like I'm really close to her. Like she's a marketing major too, so we've had a lot of classes together. So we're really great friends. So it's really important, I feel like, to have a good dynamic in your e-board, because if somebody doesn't get along with someone, or someone might not be putting in as much work as everyone else, then it's just not going to work out. But I definitely feel like right now, like we have a very strong, solid team. And I'm just so grateful for everybody that's on there, because everybody's role is so important. And without either one of them, it would be really challenging to kind of replace that, or even have it missing for a while. We have had that happen before, obviously, when people either graduate or they have to leave due to other circumstances. It does put a dent in your club for a little bit until you find somebody. So right now, I'm just really happy with how things are going with everybody on the board.
Shout out to the team over there. You guys are all very fun and nice people.
Yeah, for sure.
Lastly, before you go, it's rumored, now these are just rumors,
Mhm.
that you like experimenting with oatmeal recipes. As an oatmeal connoisseur and myself, what are some recipes that I can't miss, Monica?
Okay, so I would say this kind of started like during the pandemic on TikTok. Obviously, like my For You page was kind of filled with a lot of oatmeal recipes. Um, so when I feel my everyday oatmeal recipe tends to be oatmeal, banana, peanut butter. I also like to throw in some walnuts in there. So that's kind of like my standard oatmeal. Depending on the fruit I have, I like to throw in some strawberries, blueberries, some chocolate powder. Some granola is a must because I like my oatmeal to have a little crunch. But yeah, I have oatmeal like every day now.
That's amazing.
What's
But
your go-to oatmeal recipe?
now you mentioned, I have to add another question. Sorry about it.
Yeah.
But when you're making your oatmeal, you said peanut butter, but then you also said walnuts.
Mhm.
When you're using peanut butter, is it creamy or crunchy?
Creamy.
Okay, good. I thought I was gonna have to just
Perfect.
pretend like this interview never happened. I do not trust people that use crunchy peanut butter.
No,
You are the enemy.
it has to be creamy.
It has to be. But thank you so much, Monica, for coming on the show. We appreciate what you're doing, what the club's doing, and we hope you guys have a super successful semester and you have, a great time over there.
Yeah, thank you. I think this will be a really good semester, and thank you for having me on your show.
Of
Thank you
course.
so much.
Guys, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we got Lana's segment about how to pass time. We will be right back here on the Morning Buzz, WMSC Upper Montclair.
Yeah, they're going.